Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Joining me right now is former New York State Senator and Democrat strategist David Carlucci and Republican strategist and the Vogel Group principal Matt Keelan. Great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. David, you can understand why nobody trusts the media after that, right?
Well, yeah, I can appreciate that. And I see everyone having to come to Donald Trump's defense and really say what he meant to say. And the problem is the context, right? That Donald Trump starts off this rally praising the January 6th, what he calls hostages. In that same speech, he talks about some immigrants not even being human. So you can see how I think a lot of people are on edge. A lot of moderates, a lot of people in the middle that are very concerned about what happened on January 6th. When they hear rhetoric like that, it's almost like a dog whistle, and people jump when they hear certain terms. So I think the big problem here is I think Republican surrogates were right to come to his defense and try to parse out what he meant to say. But this is a problem that's going to face Donald Trump heading into the general election, where every time he gives one of these freewheeling speeches, there's going to be so much cleanup that has to be done and parse through what he said and what he meant to say.
Well, I don't know about the cleanup that needs to be done about what he said, but there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done about this economy and about foreign affairs, isn't there, David? I mean, look, ever since Joe Biden walked into the White House, our adversaries have been on the march. There's a lot of stuff to fix out there, isn't there?
Well, I mean, you know better than anyone that these talk of a 100% tariff, I mean, this is kind of being reckless. The fact that he would say that, we know that's not going to happen. Why? Because it'll be a war between China and the United States on these tariffs, and not just the cars, but each of the parts. And so Joe Biden has done his part in the CHIPS Act, in the Inflation Reduction Act, to say that these vehicles have to be made here in the United States, that if we are going to lead the EV revolution, but the parts, the cars, they all have to be made in the United States, and that's going to help our economy and make sure that we're leaders, not this protectionism where we hide in the corner, hide under the bed. We've got to face the economy full on, and this is the way that we do it to make it in America.